Bad self.
Happy Freedom Friday, children.
Well, and a very respectful Memorial Day weekend Friday.
That's right. And we have to give a big thank you to Brenda and Michael.
Oh, Brenda and Michael.
You need to fix your hair?
Yeah. Just make sure it's on straight. I will never forget. Once upon a time, I had very long hair, and I was in Macy's with Larry, the keyboard player, Larry.
We went to lunch with today, by the way, Larry.
And I was in the wig department, and I was sitting in front of the mirror. This lady came, like, tried to yank the wig off my head, but it was my real hair. And always pranking.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail. Okay, so here we go. Do we have star sounds? There's sounds.
I love the flowers that are on the lawn today.
I thought that children deserve some very special flowers today. Yeah, speaking of Larry Hobbs, my absolute best Florida friend, one of my very first Florida friends, right, when we first moved down here. And one of the...
We met him at Arnie's party.
Yeah.
Remember? He came in late with his gator scrubs on.
Yeah. Well,
Deborah had a broken leg. Yeah.
And...
Oh, thank you, Kitty. Hey, TV John in the house.
TV John in the house. Okay, anyway, so Larry, I mean, I love Larry Hobbs. He is, that's why we called the band. What's this now? No, guys.
Oh, the children willed it.
They willed it?
They willed it.
You know, this song, I'll tell you about Larry and Lunch with Larry in a minute, but this song was a result of us getting studio time at a place called JT Sound in Alphabet City. Had to be 68, 69. And of course, we had no material. We didn't know what we were going to record. I think we recorded a bunch of shit that day, you know, cover songs, probably Light My Fire, because we used to do that, and but I don't even remember how this came about. But Chris Murphy, who was the guitar player at the time, he started playing the riff. And it turned into this. And if you listen to the beginning of it, let me start it and stop it for you. If you,
Yeah, there was no Marquette.
Yeah, there was no Marquette.
Chris Peck was the singer.
Yep, there was Larry McGowan and Chris
Peppy.
Peck, and no, it was Larry.
Peppy? Oh, Larry.
But just listen to the beginning, if you know. That's like the talk back. It's like, okay, roll it all. And just,
Oh, well,
just kids.
BSC
having fun.
said he always wondered about this song.
Who did?
Baby Steve.
Oh, baby, yeah. It's
Rat Race Choir.
Yeah, it's Rat Race Choir. It's the one of
Early,
the very
early.
early incarnations of the band.
When they were like, what, 16, 17?
Yeah, 69, I would have 68, 69, I would have been 16, 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Math was never one of these.
Went to the big city to Alphabet
and went
City.
to Alphabet City. And Allen Ginsberg, if you know Allen Ginsberg, the poet, was there. He was at the studio. I think he's the one who brought the pop. And the women. But,
Here come the women.
and I mean, I was too young to even know who Allen Ginsberg was. And now every time I see him, I say to Lori, that's Allen Ginsberg.
I'm too old to know who he was. I still don't even know what he's done. A poet, but I don't know.
Well, you know what?
Would I know any of his stuff?
No, they certainly didn't teach it at Slidell High.
No?
No, I don't think Allen Ginsberg
I'm
was
shocked.
high up
Well,
on the
Jewel
chart.
loves this tune.
It's
Everybody
a-
loves a Jewel.
And it's so amazing
It's
that
our Friday
it
Freedom
came out of
Season.
nowhere. And it was really, it was out of nowhere. It was out of, well, what do you want to do now?
Well, Gail says it's one of her favorites and she's never heard it live. I think you never played it live, did you?
No, we never played it live. No, that's the only time that we ever played it.
Ever in their life.
And speaking of the only time that something happened, guess who's in the room first today?
Where
Angus?
am I?
Where
Where
are
are
you?
you?
You're in the,
Right.
I'm coming. There I am.
there you are.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the ship from you. That's why you didn't see me. See?
You're on
I
the dark
see.
side of the
You're
moon.
on the dark
Angus.
side of the moon, yes.
The far.
Yeah.
That's right. The far side of the moon.
Yeah.
How you doing? Hey, Lori.
Hey.
Good, all good, bro. Good. I'm tired. I am not tired.
Him and Larry.
Yeah,
had
Larry Hobbs took me out
lunch.
for lunch today. I haven't had sushi in years. 'Cause
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in a restaurant. I don't. Bill, have we been to a restaurant?
Sure
still?
we have.
Which
Well,
one?
we go and sit outside.
Yeah, okay. Oh well. But I mean, I haven't gone and sat down in a restaurant
have not sat
since
inside.
before COVID.
What? I
And
can say before
Larry-
COVID.
I'm not going to see Larry for a while. You know, he
Larry's-
does his North Carolina thing, and he's.
Yeah.
Let me take you out to lunch there because we used to do sushi every week.
Him and
Me,
Larry and
him
Cliff.
and Cliff
Uh-huh.
Williams. And we used to go. We had our place, and we would go every week, and it was like a weekly thing, and we'd talk music, and it was that. And so, you know, it's been years since we did that. And Larry said, "Look, I'm bailing out of town for a while. Let me take you out to lunch. I got a new place," and he had a new place, and it was just awesome. And he said, "Just get whatever you want, just don't go nuts." And I mean, it's been forever. So I got spicy tuna and the monster roll, the green monster. I just
Oh,
ridiculous.
really? I never acquired a taste for it. Just
Oh.
never did.
You know what? It's kind of like girls. You know, when you're like 10, 12, you know, but once you
That's
try
exactly
it,
what it's like.
once you try it, man.
Raw fish.
Well, okay, we're not.
No, Gail, he's not moving. He has a summer home
No,
in
he has a
North
summer home,
Carolina.
but yeah, and anyway, so Larry, so we go out and he says, and you know, I mean, I don't drink, which means I'm very thirsty.
Yeah.
And Larry says, you know, should we get some sake? And I said, absolutely, we should get some sake. I'm not going to see you for a while. Let's get some sake.
Drinking at noon.
And he orders 2 large hot sakis, right? And I'm just,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, the
clear,
warm stuff, sake
easy,
shit.
and man, let me tell you what,
Oh, thank you, baby Steve.
I just, yes, oh,
Are you buzzing?
I got frickin', I didn't get like,
No,
like,
yeah, I could tell he had a little
I
buzz
didn't
when
get
he came.
slurring or anything, but man, and I came home because qualifying for the Indy 500 is today. And
Well, it was like actually last weekend,
yeah, but
and
it's,
we didn't know it.
yeah. So we're watching the repeats.
Yes.
To see
So
who's
don't tell us who
Yeah,
qualified.
don't say,
Anybody?
please don't say anything.
Yeah.
And man, and I passed out like a fucking.
He says yum, and there's some. Have you heard of the bento box, Steve? She loves bento box.
No, I guess it's, you know, whatever your sushi place is. I mean, Larry had his thing that he likes too.
What's the drop set you get?
What?
The
A
drop.
lava drop.
Lava drop.
I go for the spicy stuff. Spicy tuna, the crunchy dragon
Yeah.
roll.
You need to go too, and like no.
Oh man.
I have not acquired a taste for whipped.
No, she is not. No, she's definitely not a sushi les.
I'm not a sushi les.
Hey, look who it is.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Don. Hey, Booker.
Oh, hello there.
Brother.
There he is. Is that your Friday night brown shirt, gig shirt? Is it every Friday?
Oh.
Who we
Or
talking?
am I wrong? Am I wrong? You
He
always
wears
think
a red
I
shirt.
like it. Maybe I like it.
He wears a red shirt. He wears a blue shirt.
I have a zillion shirts.
No, I know that.
I have probably a dozen black shirts.
Okay, just you
I've
know.
got a
yeah.
few.
This is a black shirt, by the way. See?
Yeah, but you wear red. We've seen you wear a red shirt. We've seen
Oh
you wear.
yeah.
Yeah, but Angus, you see, if you were here every week, you'd know
You
that wasn't true.
that's right.
Okay. You
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Where's my stupid thing? I have a stupid thing.
It's Angus.
Too late. That's what you get. I don't even know where I am. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I
Steve went and had sake and sushi
had
for
sake
lunch.
and sushi, and man, I got sake'd in the head.
Yeah.
Well, because alcohol is not.
I think you haven't had alcohol in years.
I can't remember the last time I had alcohol. I had a sip of Larry's. The last time Larry Hobbs was here, I had a sip of his Glenlivet, because I keep a bottle of Glenlivet for Larry,
Yeah.
for Larry only, because Larry's the only person I know that likes that. And I still have Remy left over from
And Twistle.
from the tour.
I baked
Yeah.
actually a good apple pie with that, apple cake
Yeah,
with brandy.
Oh, look. Nice.
Hi, Joe.
How we doing?
Hey guys.
Wow.
Don't
Is
tell-
that the thing in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I was last Friday, so sorry I missed the
There
show.
last Friday? Come on.
Last Friday and Saturday.
Mm.
At the ball, at the glow.
At the Sphere. The Sphere.
That's a skull behind his head.
That's Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead.
Oh, what did Bob Weir play?
Yes, Bob Weir was playing. It's Dead and Company, which is kind of an odd thing because it's owned by Irving Azoff and John Mayer. And then he pays some of the players, and some of them have opted out, like Bill Kreutzmann and Phil Lesh.
Well, Bill is in Hawaii and he's not coming back.
Well, he got sick before their last tour. I refused to see Dead and Company. I went because of the Sphere, but but he got sick and then didn't play the rest of the tour, and then got his money, from what I understand, because it was guaranteed whether he could play or not.
Wow.
And then Mayer fired him from anything else, but I think he was perfectly happy to back out of it. So it's really like a Dead cover band, but it has Mickey Hart and Bob Weir in it.
Mm.
Well, okay.
But it's like another, Irving Azoff, the Eagles, all that stuff, right? So he created the company. So Dead and Company is pretty much owned by Irving and John Mayer, and then they pay the other players to put on this like Dead thing. But I went for the technology because I produce video and all that stuff, and I wanted to see what this whole thing was all about. So
Wait. Does that mean they get all the merchandising for the Grateful Dead?
well, the Grateful Dead licensing and merchandising was owned by the Grateful Dead, and it used to be run by Jerry's brother Tiff. But I don't know who owns the licensing now. I would imagine they pay licensing from Grateful Dead Productions or the Grateful Dead.
Mm.
So I would imagine the still living four still own that.
Mm.
But so they created a different entity, like they formed another band, right? And then they go out as Dead End Company, which is not all of the. I mean, there are four living Dead members, and only two of them were in that ball.
4 living dead members. That's perfect. That's like
Yeah, no Phil, right?
No Phil or Billy.
Or Billy, yeah.
Well, let me ask a question. Who are the other ones?
You mean the other players
band,
here,
the
or
other
the
ones?
band
The
called
band
the other
was,
ones?
there's a band called the Other Ones. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the other ones, when after Jerry died, they said they were retiring the Grateful Dead. So then they went out as the Other Ones because the other one was a famous Grateful Dead song
And
with a
that
lot of
was
jamming and
supposedly
everything. So
Bob
so they
Weir is
named it
supposedly
after the
other one.
other ones, and then they could be open to having different people play. Jorma Kaukonen, all these different people. Jimmy Herring, people could come and go in the other ones, but it still had the core, what they call the core four, the remaining four.
Right,
Then they called themselves the Dead, and I make the mistake of referring to the Grateful Dead as the Dead too. So all the
Same.
kids are confused when I say I've been
Yeah.
seeing the Dead for, and then they're like, "What?" So anyway, the Dead toured, but then toward the end of that, Phil didn't want to do it anymore. From what I understand, he sort of put a gun to their head for money, and
Mm.
so then they split that up, and they decide to do a final farewell couple of shows in Chicago.
Fare thee
which
well in
They
Chicago. I
sold
went.
out so fast that then they did some, after everyone bought what they thought would be the last show ever, then they put a few more on in San Francisco, Fare Thee Well shows, and that had Trey Anastasio from Fish in the
Mm.
Jerry position. And then after that, they were never going to play together again, the four of them, and they haven't. And then Dead End Company played, which was the two drummers and Bob. And Phil has done Phil and Friends. He's my friend Jason mixed them at Warfield a few weeks ago. So, and Phil turned 84 tonight, or this week, yesterday, sometime recently.
That could make you avoid a
And
gig.
wasn't there a band called Rat Dog that Bob Weir was in?
Rat Dog
Yeah.
was like when the Jerry Garcia band would tour. There was Jerry, then Bob. There was Bob Weir's band with David Sanborn and David Sanchez and who was in that
Nicky
band?
Hopkins,
Right, and then
Sean Conn.
yes. So when the Grateful Dead weren't playing, Bob Weir band Garcia band would play, and Bob Weir band would play. But then the Bob Weir band became Rat Dog. So there's been a million offshoots, just like Hot Tuna was an offshoot of the Jefferson Airplane.
Right.
So they're off like John Entwistle's band was an offshoot of the Who. Like you toured, which I mean I'm saying a splinter, right? So he had another outlet that wasn't the Who.
The John's band, it's funny because I'm writing the liner notes now for the record. Man, it's hard to do. It's hard to write something posthumously. And it's funny because John used to say, talking about the Who, he would say that if Keith Moon ran the Who, it would have been a Beach Boy, a surf band. If Roger ran it, it would have been a country band. If Pete ran it, it would have been a jazz band. And if John ran it, it would have been like the Entwistle band, which is, turn everything up louder than it's supposed to be and play anything that you want as much as you want. And it's, so I'm actually I'm not mentioning that in the liners, but it's weird because we didn't try. I mean, we did Who songs and we did Live at Leeds stuff, but we weren't trying to, and I don't think any of those guys were trying to recreate the Dead in a different circumstance.
No.
But it's weird when you go out and you're in something like that, how everybody they won't let you out of it. You know what I mean? You can't get out under that shadow. And the one thing that
The mafia.
it's funny because I'm doing the liner notes now, but I'll just read you one quick part because it's totally appropriate for what we're talking about. Where is the thing? Together we it's bass and drums and some other guys. Then John Love Jamie improvisation. Okay. We played every size venue imaginable, from the 30th anniversary of Woodstock to Juanita's Cantina. And to be honest, John preferred Juanita's.
Which was a little club
Which
in
was
Little
like-
Rock, Arkansas.
And the reason for that was, when you're that amazing, you know you're that amazing. I want to see the reaction on your face when I'm that amazing 3 feet away from you. You know what I mean? And so that was his thrill.
So wait. Are you saying that's what's going on with the Grateful Dead guys?
No, I'm not saying that's what's going on with the Grateful Dead guys. I'm saying that Phil Lesh or whoever put their different bands together, those great bands, The Who, the Grateful Dead, the Beatles, ELP, they all were chemistry. That was the chemistry.
Stones.
The Stones, created by, the
Grateful Dead.
Yeah. So you can't ever redo that with other guys. It's just not going to work. You can pay homage to it, or you can do your version of it. And if you're an influential player like John was, or like any of those guys were,
I think Joe's trying to say something.
it's gonna.
No, I'm not.
Joe's
No, I'm pulling up another picture while I'm listening, but I'm agreeing with you because it was their ability to do what they outside of their core band. They wanted to express themselves in a different way.
Like
But
Sting.
the audience still wanted to hear "Won't Get Fooled Again" or whatever, right?
But in Entwistle's case, he was the first one in the band to put out a solo album in '71. And so he had a core audience that still exists to this day that has nothing to do with his Who music. And there are people that follow him just for his, they just put out a box set of the 5 solo albums, Mad Dog, God, I can't even remember them all. Smash Your Head Against the Wall, Whistle Rhymes, and Too Late to Hero and The Rock. The estate released a box set. My stuff is different. I have a different deal with the estate. It's just Chris, his son. But he really did have, and I don't know about the guys in the Grateful Dead or any of the guys who splintered off into other bands. I don't know what their following was, but John wanted to do have his own sound, and to be 100% honest, don't start flashing lightning on me. I was disappointed when I heard his records back in '71. I thought, oh my God, I can't wait. It's going to be John and Keith Moon just going nuts. And it was comedy records. It was Peg Leg Peggy and, Roller Skate Kate and 50s. like, what? It totally threw me, because I was expecting to hear, bass and drums and some other guys. So I had to wait a little.
When I was younger, I knew a kid who was really into those John Entwistle solo albums, didn't I, Angus?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who was that, Angus?
Yeah. Angus would bring, he'd say, "Listen to this Entwistle song." Like he would bring Entwistle solo songs into the mix, or try as much as he could.
Yeah, I tried to
Songs, Angus. How come I don't know about this? What songs would you bring?
Oh, it was so long. I'd have to look at the albums to see what songs are on there, because it's been so long.
Like, is Boris the Spider a Who song, or is it an Entwistle
Who
song?
song?
Oh, it's a Who song.
Yeah,
But I always think of it as being an Entwistle song.
Right.
Yeah, I do too.
that's on the new. That's on the new live album. Oh, it's not a live album. On the new Rarities album, we did a version of Boris with the Rites of Spring and this whole big middle 8 part that actually Keith Emerson wrote. Yeah, oh yeah, it's got Night on Bald Mountain, and it's pretty cool. It's yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Wendy.
Poking me in the
Ah,
eye.
how you
And
doing?
your thumb. Hi, Lenny and your thumb.
Hi, Mousy.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Oh, Angus.
Really, right?
Yeah, no.
Was everybody surprised to see me? I'm here at least every other Friday. But
No.
Hey,
No,
I
you've been absent for a while.
Yeah. We
yeah.
were
Wait,
like
wait. I
2 days
think I
away.
was absent for 1 week. 1 week.
Yeah, but
Nah,
Len, you were sick, right?
you might have felt like a week, but you were missing for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Len,
before the last time I was on, I was absent for about 3 weeks. I'm just trying to build up the excitement.
Well, we're excited now.
build the anticipation.
Leave them
And
wanting
you
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems to be working.
Nobody is more excited than Don Worsby. He's still waiting for Manny's to open.
Oh, hi, Don.
We've been waiting for a long time.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
where's Lori? Where's Lori?
Hey, Lenny.
Ah, oh, there she is.
Yes,
I'm here.
she's here.
No
Okay,
sense
good.
that I will not be here.
Okay. Do we have a quorum? Is this a quorum?
Yes, we do. Are we voting?
Yeah.
What are we voting on?
I don't know.
Favorite sushi?
I don't know.
Sushi
No,
set.
no.
I saw
Steve
the
is
Stones
presiding.
last night.
As long as you have sake with it,
You
you're
did?
good, right?
Yes, I did.
What
You know,
happened?
Steve, when I would go on tour, right? You know how tour manager would give you your per diem,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, sometimes.
And that first day I would get it, I would spend my entire week's per diem.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you saved it.
Entire week's per diem.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
when I was doing Khalees, that was quite a bit of money. So I had to bring people with me to do it.
Wow. You go
Yeah.
get a milkshake.
You go down to no. Serious. That had to be.
Oh, man. Tell them what happened when you and Dave played with Leslie in the per diem.
Oh.
Lori, do you have a cold?
I actually have
She had
I
one.
was sick for like 4 days.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, yesterday.
No one else picked up on that, I noticed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was like
Oh,
sitting
shoot.
Would you like some?
up. Yesterday was the first day I started to feel somewhat better. But yeah, I thank you for noticing, Mousy.
Well, I'm glad you're getting better. I could just hear it.
I had like a
Shut up, you.
a big improvement,
Hey, you
like
look great.
cough drops.
You know, I went to sadly we lost one of our people in the sound community a few weeks ago, and they had a memorial service for him last Sunday for Todd Whitford. I don't know if you knew him, Joe.
I know the
think so.
name. I don't think I
Yeah,
knew.
so he was around with Gabriel, and he worked for a company with Eric Wayne that did all speaker recons and stuff, but he was a sound guy from back in the day. Like Joe, for example, Mark Hiller told me that was the first person that he ever worked for with the In Orbit band. That's how long ago, like, he goes back. So we go, and apparently he was a member of the Elks Lodge somewhere up and he was very devoted to it and did a lot of work for the place and things. And so we all go for his memorial service or whatever last Sunday, and there's myself and 1, 2, 4, 7 other sound people there, right? And we're in this little room, and everybody's like, does anyone want to say anything about Todd? And so everybody's getting up, 1 people at a time, no microphones, no speakers. I'm like, do you think we could have come up with like 1 microphone among all of us? People
I
are going,
think-
we
I
can't
think
hear, we
there's-
can't hear.
I think there's
Oh,
poetry in
man,
that. I
yeah.
really
Exactly.
think there's
Yeah.
absolute romantic poetry in that. Because the guy would have been laying there saying, no, turn
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I
right.
know.
So no, I
The
think
mids.
I saw the Stones last night, and the sound was amazing. I can't.
Yeah, I meant to
believe
ask
I'm
you about
saying
that.
This. I
Where'd
can't
you
You know, my
believe I'm
wife and I,
saying
we
it.
were gonna. She says, "Do you want to go?" And early in the week, and then she said, "But the weather's going to be bad, and it's going to be rain or shine and stuff like that."
Yeah.
And I initially said, "Nah," right?
It was-
Well, here's what happened.
And
Because
then
my husband works for a company that has VIP people that gamble online with his company. His VIP guy called him up yesterday, and he goes, do you want a ticket? Now, of course, Michael, he's like, well, is it Mozart? No. Is it Keith Emerson? No. Is it Chick Corea? No. Then no, I don't want to go, but Mouse will go.
Really?
So,
People.
so, so I went and got to sit in a box thing, like a suite, which is way better than hearing
Where was this? What was the venue?
Meadowlands at the
Meadowlands.
stadium.
That's
Who did you
like
say?
It was way
MetLife
better
Stadium.
than hearing all these people singing every word to every song. Like, and the drunker they get, the shittier they sound. So when I go to hear somebody, I don't want the guy
you
next
talking
to
about the
me
stars or the
singing
audience?
out of
The
tune every
audience. She
fucking
means
word
the
to the song.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
yeah.
if the sound was great, I'm gonna guess that it was Dave Natal.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and it was spectacular. I was beyond pleasantly surprised. I
Yeah.
really was, because I don't have a good time if it doesn't sound good. I don't care who's playing. I get really agitated.
Yeah.
Dave,
So
Dave,
it was good.
My son saw him last week or in Phoenix, and he said the sound wasn't good. It could be where you're sitting. I mean, last time I saw them was San Diego, and the sound was good, but very loud. It was a whole JBL rig. It was harsh and loud, but
oh yeah.
it was okay.
No, they really tweaked it for the stadium, I'm sure, because it sounded
You were in a
amazing.
box. You were in a box, a closed.
Well, I was in a box, but then I went down to visit some other people illegally. So yes, I heard it from several different places in the
Right.
the venue, and it sounded good everywhere. Even the people way in the back were saying how they could hear it crystal clear.
Well, wait a
Uh,
minute. If it was a JBL system, then it would not have been Dave Natal.
No. I'm saying
No,
when
I
I
don't think
saw them
no.
in 2015, last time I
Oh,
saw them,
okay,
I don't know
yeah.
what they used on this tour.
Yeah, because Dave is tied in with Claire Brothers. I just
Somebody
got back
told me it
from
was a Claire Brothers. Somebody said they didn't know if it was Claire Brothers or if it was Meyer, but they said that they thought it was a Claire Brothers system. So
Yeah.
it's almost certainly, yeah. I mean, Dave Natal is one of the I don't know him all that well, but I was just at Full Sail, and I was chatting with a guy who works with Claire, works for Claire, and it's like, yeah, Dave's really just simple, not not overly complicated, but he has an incredible ear for balance.
it sounded like if I was mixing it myself, that's what I would have wanted it to sound like.
Yeah.
They said the people that I know that commented on it said Steve Jordan put on a clinic.
Perfect. So, that's why I was going to bring that up. He is talk about like a hand in a glove, just perfect.
Yeah.
Just perfect to be with those guys. It really kind of like took it up a little notch, I mean, it was kind of like the Y2K and beyond version. Same stuff, same vibe, but just a little bit spicier, just a little bit.
Well, because you can't, I see these the tribute bands, and they go for that real sound, that authentic sound, and they go for the tone, and it sounds wrong to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're going for the tempo of the record, and it just doesn't. You're doing it, and it sounds like that, but there's no excitement, there's no energy.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Jordan put a little spring in everybody's.
Absolutely, he did. Absolutely. You could just feel, like, you could see it. They were like playing off of each other, and, Keith kept going over by him, and just like vibing with him a little bit. It was really good, where usually Charlie would just kind of sit back there and, do his thing, great as he was for what they were doing. But this was definitely like, you could tell they were happy to be playing together.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
I mean, certainly no disrespect to Charlie, but if you're gonna be the Rolling Stones for all those years, you've got to have some new juice. I mean, when Darryl Jones came into the band, it's certainly no disrespect to Bill Wyman, but there was a
Birthday boy. Hi, birthday boy.
There he is.
Happy birthday.
Hey,
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 Your birthday.
I see you put the right amount of candles in there. Is you supposed to touch?
take your heads on fire.
There's probably enough on that cake.
I like that kid.
No, I think I think when you get somebody like Jordan or like Darrell, or even when they got Ron Wood, there's a whole new energy. The traditional vibe, the DNA is still there. But
yeah.
But the dynamic shift, definitely.
so I'm glad to hear that. I really
Well,
am.
Ron Wood, I think, gives Keith, a little boost.
Well, the other thing is that Steve Jordan
Yeah.
Steve Jordan did the wino, so it wasn't like he was a stranger
Right,
Right.
right.
to the music. So
He was Charlie's pick to succeed him. Like
Yeah.
Charlie said, when I'm not here, you should use Steve.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he did that right.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I mean, you listen to "Take It So Hard." That's like the first take. It's perfect.
Mm.
Expensive Winos.
Yeah.
It's off the chain. It's so perfect.
I like the expensive wine.
Yeah, they were great.
But that was between him and Charlie, and both of them are ridiculous. Pocket
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
Yeah, who was it? Steve Jordan, Charlie Drayton, and
Mhm.
Keith.
And I forget who else was there.
Waddy Watch Out.
Body, yeah.
Oh, he was.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember they used to come to
Yeah.
the China Club all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I played with a bunch of those guys. Not Keith. I never played with.
Okay,
but-
now, funny that you guys mentioned the Stones because Gail, one of our children of the lawn, had asked a little bit earlier, what song has been played the most live by the Stones? And I guessed Satisfaction, and it was wrong. Oh, wait, I'm not
Really?
so guess, because she told me the answer.
Oh, does she know? Okay.
Yeah, she knows.
Oh,
So
well,
what
Maybe
song
Okay,
Jumpin' Jack
let's
Flash.
guess.
You wanted a contest, Lenny? You got one.
Yeah.
What is the most played song
live?
live by the
the
Rolling
Rolling
Stones?
Start me up.
No.
No, wait. Don't test, don't say it. Street Fighting Man.
Nope.
Jumping
Satisfaction.
Jack Flash.
What?
I would say,
Jumpin' Jack Flash. Bing, 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 bing,
Oh,
bing,
see,
bing.
that's what I said at first, but then I thought
Yeah.
that might be
Oh.
like,
I guess Paint It
Oh.
Black.
Okay.
Satisfaction. But Jumpin' Jack Flash, he says.
Wow.
I'm surprised. I'm
Okay.
surprised it's not Satisfaction.
yeah, because that was their first
Not-
like
not-
Because it's older. Yeah.
incessant. Yeah, it was their first big like #1 hit that just went on from on and on.
yeah.
But
I
you know what?
would've-
I remember seeing a video of him doing JJ Flash where you could just tell that was like his baby, that song. You know, like he had the whole thing going on, the outfit and the
You
whole
know,
choreographed down to everything
I
that was going on.
asked, Corey, when they Live in Color opened for them in the Steel Wheels tour.
Ah.
And I asked Corey, I said, how was Mick on that tour? He said Mick would, because they had two towers, one on either side of the stage. He said Mick would stand center stage. He'd run up one tower to the top, come down, run across the stage, run up the other tower. So he did that the entire show.
Wow.
That he was a lesson in endurance.
Wow.
That dude's 80 years old and
80 years
still has
old.
like the
He's
body.
still running across
And he's
because
had bypass surgery.
I saw a video of it last, and he's still running across the stage.
Yeah. Oh, he was a maniac. A
He's had
maniac.
bypass surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you remember he had a heart attack however many years ago it was?
I don't remember.
No, I
Yeah.
thought that was a new
No,
song.
and he had to have a bypass. He had to have bypass surgery.
Wow.
Wow.
I saw them in the 70s with Billy Preston on keyboards.
Oh, love
Mm.
Billy.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
when they had that big phallic balloon come up in the middle of the stage.
Oh my God, that was in the 70s. That was that was one of their original farewell tours, by the way. It just like that was
I just
around
remember-
the same time as the Eagles' first farewell tour, I think.
I remember when Mick said, Mick said he was going to go solo, and then
Yeah.
Keith said in an interview, if he goes solo, I'll kill him.
Well, I could go solo and it didn't work
Yeah,
out.
it didn't work
It's
out.
like Townsend tried to go solo and it didn't work.
Well, he leveraged a Stones album to get his solo album. So he said you won't get a Stones album unless you give me a record deal for a solo album. And when Keith found that out, that is what made the long split. And that's what Take It So Hard is about, is hey, you know, I got a band and it's better than any of that solo shit you were putting out. Like they had a few songs toward each other during that period.
The Expensive
Wow.
Rhinos being the band? Is that
Wow.
what band you
Diss
talking about?
tracks?
Yes, diss tracks. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the original diss track is "How Do You Sleep?" at the Lennon song, right?
Right. And
That's kinda
let me
nasty.
roll it to you. All of those back and forth. They went back and forth for
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 songs. The Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many people.
I
Yeah.
wrote a diss track. I wrote one called "I Won't Be Coming Back."
You
True.
also wrote
True.
Flash.
Oh, I wrote Flash. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
Gordon.
so
Gordon.
And
Mick
going
had
back to
a
this.
heart replaced. He had a heart valve replaced in 2021.
Wow.
Oh,
And
so-
he had to cancel stuff. And he had he had a heart attack, and they had to replace a valve.
wow.
And
Yeah, it
on,
wasn't
on
just like a
the-
little stent popped in. It was like major surgery.
I
And
think
Keith
on
had
the-
nothing done
Well,
except blood
They're
exchanges.
afraid to open that up. That's why.
he treats himself.
Don, you have the
Keith
floor.
is going to
Yeah,
be
no,
here.
I mean, we were
Like
talking
the rest
about.
of us is going to be long gone. Keith is still going to be around.
He's like
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
cockroach of rock.
Yeah.
Don, please, you got the floor.
I do. Yeah, I mean, talking about diss tracks, Sway from was it Sticky Fingers or was it from the or was it
I think it's Sticky Fingers.
yeah, Sway was all about Keith getting lost in dope.
Oh.
Okay, I can see it.
It's just that devil life that's got you in its sway.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Jeff, any
Okay,
tribute?
Yeah, Jeff.
how about a quick round of favorite Stones single?
Oh.
Under My Thumb.
Yeah. Under my
I don't know if
That's
it would
good.
technically
That's a
count
good
as
one.
a single, but I have to say "Can't You Hear Me Knocking" is my favorite like overall song with them.
Okay, Angus, how about you?
I'm thinking about it yet. Still thinking about that one.
Sympathy
Okay,
for the
take a
devil
minute.
is me too.
Yeah.
Sympathy for the
I
devil.
happen to like Tumbling Dice.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yes.
a good song.
I also love Gimme Shelter. So
Yeah, I love Give Me Shelter too.
I mean, the
Yeah.
funny thing is, I was not a Stones fan. I was
Same.
actually a Beatles fan other until Exile on Main Street. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then I went back and, did the homework. And it's like, yeah, these guys are really good.
Well,
Yeah.
that was one of those things. Again, you go to these shows, like when I was mixing John Fogerty last year, I just was like, another fucking song this guy did. Oh shit, here's another one. It was the same thing with them last night. It's like you knew they had a million hits, but then you just go, oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about that. And they just kept coming. Meanwhile, they're putting in stuff from their new album. So it was like a lot of
Very nice.
material.
It's
Where did you see them, Mousy?
It's interesting that we're going here.
Where?
because
Meadowlands.
I wasn't a Stones diehard, and I wasn't a Beatles diehard, but the music of theirs that I liked. If we were to do the Beatles track, mine might be Paperback Writer, and and if you think about the similarity between that and Under My Thumb, it's riff rock, and I mean the Beatles, the stuff they did, and the Stones, no matter what. I mean, Painted Black, Sympathy for the Devil, it was
Well, what about
untouchable, but there was just certain parts of the thing, certain things, and like I said,
I like the story about As Tears Go By. That was like one of their first hits. And you know the story behind that song?
Where they were locked in the
Marianne
kitchen.
Faithfull do
Yes.
that?
Isn't that Mary Ann Faithful?
No, nothing to do with Marianne Faithfull.
Oh,
The
'cause that was his
band,
girlfriend.
their manager said, come on, you guys have to write an original song, because they were playing like all these old blues songs and stuff that weren't there. So he said, you have to write one. And they were all in this like room in this house. And the manager said, I'm locking you guys in this kitchen and you're not coming out until you come out with a song. So it says, it is the evening of the day. I sit and watch the children play because there was a school outside the window.
Oh,
and
geez.
that
Yeah.
you talk about Jack Bruce and Pete Brown were trying to write a song for Cream.
Right.
And they were up all night, and they could, this is just one of those things where you just can't put two notes together or two words together. And Pete Brown said to Jack, he said, how long are we going to do this? And Jack said, we got to come up with a song. And he said, well, come on, it's getting near dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack wrote,
And that was it. Boy.
Sunshine of Your Love.
Yeah. So it's strange where it comes from, man.
And they were both a couple of junkies.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That was going to be the name of the band, but they figured it wouldn't go over so well.
Junkies, yeah.
Well,
Couple of
because
junkies. They were going to be called a
Ginger was
couple
a
of junkies.
speed freak.
Yeah, can you imagine that? You've got Eric and Jack doing dope, and frickin' Baker's doing speed. Come on, you guys! Hey, guys, come on!
And it's Ginger. You would want him to be doing the dope.
Oh my God, Ginger.
Yeah.
What was the Stones album that they recorded in a basement in France somewhere?
Exile.
That's
on Main
Exile.
Street.
Exile.
That's Exile.
Yeah.
And the
That
producer
record-
played
that
drums
record-
on some of those tracks.
Yeah.
So, were there any diss tracks in Rats, Lenny?
Not that I knew of. Not that I knew of.
Police diss
Well,
tracks?
no, that's not true. That's not true. Back to my music.
Oh.
Joe was a dishwasher in old Jackson City. It wasn't Joe Franco. It wasn't Joe Franco. It was Joe, this jazzy drummer. The bass player plays too fast. We had a man named Crazy Art used to play his bass a lot. His fingers moved like Vitus dance. We had to kick him in the pants.
Oh.
Yeah,
there you
so-
go.
Right off the bat, we had a diss song. Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny. That's good.
That is good.
That's good. So, man, I can't, but there's two, you guys know that we're race fans. Two races, not one, but two amazing races this weekend.
Major races.
The Indianapolis 500 and the Grand Prix of Monaco.
In Formula.
Ooh.
They're not at the same time, right?
No, well, the Grand Prix
Yeah.
will be on earlier
Yeah, the
because
Grand
they're
Prix
in
starts at
Monaco.
10.
It goes on for like ever, doesn't it? The Grand Prix?
No, that's 24 hours.
No,
of
that's
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Oh, okay.
Lamar.
But there's
Oh,
one
Lamont, right. Okay.
named Larson, and he's a dirt track driver. He's a NASCAR driver, and he's going to drive in the
Kyle
Indianapolis.
Larson.
Kyle Larson's going to drive in the Indianapolis 500.
Never
And
drove an Indy car before.
Never drove an Indy car in his life.
drove an Indy.
And then he's going to do the NASCAR 600 in the same
Yes,
day.
he's going to get on a helicopter and go and do the NASCAR.
So he's gonna
So
drive
he's
500
effectively the Phil Collins.
Phil
of
Collins
racing.
and Live Aid, yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Let me
And
tell
I-
you,
That's-
the way these IndyCar
He
drivers.
is just
he's
toasting these
amazing.
guys. He's just, it's amazing. I mean, I look, I'm all
And
about that.
did any of you guys watch Beckham?
Oh,
No, I still haven't had
Not
it.
yet.
It's been crazy.
Watched it
We
again
watched
so
it
we could
again.
talk to you about
and
it.
it is.
Let me
I
tell you,
can't
how this guy
believe-
did not kill himself, I don't know.
He is such an unusual human being that
Hills and valleys, and you don't want to know.
I always say that that if you get to the top of the mountain, that's how deep the valley is. I don't care who you are, what you do, where you've been. As high as the high is, that's how low the low is.
Mhm.
This guy is the definition of that. I mean,
You
talk
gotta
about
watch it. It's so good.
it is
Right.
so
Because I was
and
turned
so
off
well
to
done.
both of them because Posh came off like all snotty and stuff. You'll come out with a whole different view of these people.
Wow. No, it's really
And there's
stunning.
footage of like their life from
Yeah.
like when they met on.
It's really
like-
it's unbelievable, and you actually develop a sense of pride for them towards the end of it. I can't tell you enough. It's so incredibly powerful what he himself and her, but mostly what
What
he
he
endured.
tolerated? Oh
it's
my
just You think, oh, great looking guy, all the money in the world, he's a star, he owns this and that. Man, let me tell you what.
We're not going to tell you what he had to go through. It's like
it is
not even
so-
one time. It was
It's
like
so mind blowing.
numerous.
Don, is it you that follows Manchester United?
Yes, it's Don.
And is it still the same guy? Is it still Sir? What's his name?
No,
The owner or the manager?
manager.
Eric Ten Hag.
Okay,
Yeah,
no. Just, man, I cannot recommend it to you enough. It is so good. And Beckham for everything good that's ever happened to him in his life and for all the wonderful things, being the great looking guy and the sports star, man, did he pay for that with blood.
Yeah.
It is just, he
Check
deserves
it out.
Man, I'm telling you, it's worth seeing.
Yeah, it really.
Okay.
What's it on?
Not seen it, Don?
Netflix, isn't it on Netflix?
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
Okay.
Don, you've not seen it? Manchester United, Don?
It's
Mia-
four episodes.
Now I
Okay.
heard that there's another doc series that's out that musician friends of mine have been losing their minds over. That's the Stacks.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good.
yeah.
Just mentioned that. Yeah, HBO. That's on. She
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
That's good, huh?
that's what I hear. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet either.
I have a funny feeling as soon I'm going to watch the first 5 minutes and then finish the series. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
I know
a new
that
Beach
works.
Boys doc coming out too.
There's a new Beach Boys documentary.
On
Yep, that's
Disney
right.
Plus. I'm
Oh,
kind of excited for that. I'm fascinated with the Beach Boys. I was never a huge fan of their music growing up, but I am fascinated with the whole story of that family and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Yeah.
brilliance of Brian Wilson, who just seemed like this big. I remember seeing them because I dated a guy who loved them, and I remember seeing them at the Garden where he's sitting at like his piano. We were like in third row seats or something, and his shrink is there, like sitting next to him on the piano bench, like talking to him and rubbing his back while he's talking to him. And, they're talking like he's insane or something. And he was all, I guess, like zombified on drugs or something because they're like saying, and that was a song that Brian wrote. That was a very good song, Brian. Wasn't that good, everybody? And like everybody in Madison Square Garden did.
Mother was horrible.
Was that was back with Dr. Landy?
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah,
a while
this
ago,
is like
right?
1977, maybe 76,
Yeah.
77.
I've
And
read
there's-
some books about it.
There's that wonderful biopic, whatever you want to call it, with Paul
Oh,
Dano.
love and
Yes.
devotion
Something
No.
like that, yeah. It's
with John
Yeah,
Cusack.
yes.
Yeah, that's
I
a
think
very
the first Beach Boys record that well, my sister was a big Beach Boys fan. She had the Beach Boys live in concert, which was really, really good. But I remember buying Smiley Smile, not knowing anything about the background of the album Smile that, didn't come out until ages after that. But I just thought Smiley Smile was the coolest record ever. Yeah.
I was never a ballad guy. I'm a lead drummer, so ballads are not high up on my list of songs to play. And Dave, Don, you'll get this. Dave wanted to do "In My Room," which is like. Really?
Yeah, music is music to kill yourself by, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't play that slow.
Jacob Collier has a really good version.
I've done that.
Amazing.
I've done that instrumentally with a few guys. We do that frequently. God Only Knows is incredible.
Yeah.
And you're thinking of Love and Mercy, I think, is the name of the movie.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And I remember there was Jeff Beck did an instrumental of Surf's Up. And he may have also done an instrumental of Caroline No, but I remember him going like, I'm trying to learn this. This song is fucking impossible to play.
Yeah. No, that's Jeff.
He said he was interviewed and he said he was at this Brian Wilson tribute concert they did, and he did I think Surf's Up or Caroline No, and he said after it was over he saw Brian Wilson as he was passing backstage, and Brian just looked at him and said, "That was nice."
He seems like almost like childlike, and did you
Yeah.
ever see Amadeus? How Mozart was just like this
Yes.
kind of like
Yeah.
goofy. That's what he seems to be to me, to Brian Wilson. But I mean, if you pick apart his music, if you ever saw, like the charts and not just that, but the things that he would hear in his head that he was like determined that needed to be in that song, that without it, you probably wouldn't have noticed it, but with it being there, it's like, yeah, this is.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like,
remember, guys, he was the bass player.
Oh,
That's right. That's right.
oh, we
Yeah.
got
He had the Wrecking Crew.
Hey, Mousy, they said there was a movie Love and Mercy.
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
Yes, Memorial Day.
Mhm.
okay,
yes,
Thanks everybody for their
Yeah.
service they served.
okay. Are we moving?
grateful Memorial Day to you all.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, no.
I worked Steve, I worked very, very hard to put together one of those anagrams or whatever you call it. So I'm going to put it up, and if anybody
You got to move out the
Oh, my
way.
goodness.
hang on a second, hang on a second, hang on a second.
Oh,
I
well,
can hear the.
I
I
can't even see.
I can't see what the other things are.
It's
Yeah,
a joint.
Bird.
Okay, wait now.
I see a bird. There's a blackbird.
Crow.
Could you
Grateful
put that
Dead.
so he's in the he's
It's it's very obscure, but I figured I'm amongst some of my contemporaries here. So those you young folks, if you don't get it,
Trucking.
close. It's
I-
written
I
on-
can hear
Rolling.
the.
I can.
I
hear
can't
the-
see what's after the.
it's a joint. It's a guy rolling a joint.
I can see the rolling bird. I can.
Oh, that's pretty good actually, but it's not it.
Plus G. Oh, crow. I can see the rolling grow.
No.
I can
No.
hear.
No.
Okay, what's
I can
what's
hear
in
the
the
rolling-
joint? What's in the joint?
Grass.
Oh,
Hey,
I
hey,
can
yep.
see the grass.
growing,
I can hear the grass growing.
grass growing.
This
Good.
is a good one.
Is that about this show?
No, it's I can hear the grass grow by the move.
Oh, it's a
by the
moving
move.
band. Okay.
Oh, 'cause
Oh,
I've
very
been-
good, Don. That was
I-
excellent.
Oh, okay. The ing threw me off.
Minus ing. Yeah.
Good. Why did
You
we
know
get
that song?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
I love the move. One of my favorite records I listen to every year, multiple times, is Shazam. It's till to this day, it's amazing.
Wow,
Came out-
I'll have to
came-
listen to it. I've never heard
Came out the same year as Who's Next, to give you an idea of it. But they were as big as they almost as big as the Beatles in England when they were together. But they couldn't keep it together. Roy Wood, Jeff Lynne,
Oh, that's
Carl-
guess
Yeah.
what?
Carl Wayne.
We need a free booker though, because he's got.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I will see you guys next week,
Yeah.
and have a great week, a great and safe weekend.
Oh, and congratulations on the good article from Australia.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
That one was actually really cool. And then the site went completely down for like a week.
Oh,
Oh no, really?
Yeah, it
Did you
went
think
down
it
for like a
crashed?
week. Yeah, it crashed.
It crashed
Which is
because so many
maybe
people
that's
were
a good
jumping
sign.
on?
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
That's a great sign.
Yeah.
well, let me tell you, Laurie Richardson said, is it possible to wear out a CD? Because that's how much she's playing it.
Well, I'm glad she is.
Yes,
I'm
she
glad
did.
she is. It's funny because I've done two interviews. Corey does like 10 a day.
Wow.
You got to sell it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
tell you what, when you're in that press junket, that's really an interesting thing to do, and I was only, I've certainly done enough of them over the years, but it's very strange because you get asked the same question a lot and you don't want to give that boilerplate answer. And it was funny because they would say to John, are you in touch with the guys in the Who? And he'd say, only through a medium. I mean, it was,
And 'cause they always had the first question I get asked, even by the people that knew me a long time ago. They say, "How'd you meet Corey?" I'm like, going, "You're kidding, right?" I'm like, I've known Corey for over 30 years. I've known.
It was
Corey.
a blind date. What the hell?
They asked that at the parking lot show.
yeah.
They asked that. I answered. That was actually a good one though, because they said because I auditioned for Corey after he had met me during a Black Rock Coalition New Year's Eve show, and he asked the drummer and I, would we be interested in doing a project at that time? And then I'm like going, why am I auditioning in my head? I'm like going, he knows. So I was the last person to audition for that band.
Wow.
I was the last person to audition for that band.
Save the best for last.
The guy who gets the gig is usually the last one who auditions, right?
Right.
Maybe that might be the truth. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, you got the here he is. God.
That was definitely the case. And the one thing that a lot of people didn't know is that Michael Kaplan, who was the A&R person for that record originally, he wanted to bring in studio cats to do the record. So, and the bass player that they had playing it at the time, he was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna bring in some cats to do this." And then I got the gig, and they brought him back to just hear the band, and he says, "Okay, you guys can do the record."
Cool.
Yeah,
And I never let him forget it.
Oh, man.
And make sure you don't.
I'll see everybody next week
Great weekend,
from
everybody. I'll see
Vienna
you.
or Budapest.
Take
Bye,
care.
Booker.
There you
You're
go.
going to be in Vienna or
Thanks,
Budapest?
Jeff.
Vienna or Budapest next week.
What is it? What's that?
Vienna or Budapest.
Well, Vienna waits for you, Jeff.
That's
Right.
right.
And don't be a Budapest.
Oh, you're going to one of those places?
Yeah. Stop it.
My 75th birthday trip.
Oh, my
Oh my
what?
God, really? So, are you going to take the train?
Yep. Planes
Oh,
and trains.
cool.
Planes
Gonna
You're
and
going to do
see
the
some-
train tour.
Some symphonies. What are you going to see? Beethoven?
Munich, Austria, and Hungary.
Wow. And
Wow.
without having to set anything up.
No.
You might actually see something. I wrote a
Wow,
song.
have a great time.
I wrote a song about touring called "The Whole World Looks Like a Holiday Inn to Me."
That's for sure.
Yeah.
On a
Well,
good day, a Holiday Inn. Sometimes
good
not
day.
even as nice.
And look, Joe's trucking.
Yeah, Joe's trucking,
Well, everybody have a great weekend.
and
Everybody
I
be safe.
flag waving.
Ah.
Angus,
Children of the Lawn.
Children
Yeah,
of the
Have a
Lawn,
good weekend.
just and
Thank
keep.
you to all of our soldiers who serve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this is why we could get online and be idiots, because of those people giving us the freedom to be as stupid as we want.
True.
That's right. That's right.
Father fought in Korea.
Yeah, my dad-
uncle Billy was killed in action in Korea, and my brother was a Marine in Vietnam and got a Purple Heart. So,
My was an asshole.
well, mine too, but he still fought in Vietnam.
I was number 243.
I was number 9.
Your
Yeah.
draft number? My brother's was 7.
No,
You were
lottery,
number
my
19.
lottery
Yeah, that's
number.
what his lottery number was. My brother was number 3. His birthday
Mine
was.
was.
Ow!
Oh.
You know what? We'll end it up with a little draft story. I get number 19. I got to go down to the draft board. I'm scared out of my
Whitehall
mind.
Street, the
Well,
city.
They took us in a
Yeah.
bus to Whitehall Street. I had doctor's letters and all kinds of, everything in the world.
Well, he had a bad
and,
back.
And I had injuries, real legit injuries. But and they put me through. I mean, you're either getting on a bus to go to Camp Pendleton. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen next. I am scared to death. And they put me in this room. I had to take a test. There was a bunch of other guys. You had to go through this. There were lines of people all through Whitehall Street. And I get to the end of the thing, and this is like an 8-hour day. And I don't know what's going to happen to me, right? I mean,
Got the long hair.
and I get to the end of the line, right? To the end of the whatever it is, the trip. There's 4 guys all in uniform, Army, Navy, Marines, that whole thing. And I step up with my long hair and my
Air
hippie
Force
clothes,
left out.
and they're going, "Oh my God, we gotta get this guy. You want to be a Marine, don't you, kid?" and the Navy guys go, "Come on, no, man. He looks like he'd be great on a ship. Come on, kid. You want to be in the Navy? You want to fly jets?" And they're like, I'm ready to start crying. And bang.
I don't want to be a Marine.
Right. 4F.
4F. Get out of here.
They were fucking with them.
They were fucking with me bad, man. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. No, they're fighting over me. You know, I'm 6'4", I'm whatever. Holy shit. Can't wait to shake that head. Oh, man. Oh, God. 19.
Is Mousy frozen? Is everybody frozen?
No, they're in shock.
All right, going. I'll see you guys later.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Guys.
Take care.
Staying awake. Enjoy
Bye,
the week.
Angus.
Take care.
Love
Happy
you
birthday,
guys.
Jeff.
Happy birthday!
Okay.
Don, be good. Eat ice cream.
Yeah.
That's my next task. Okay, see you guys.
Do they have sushi in Antigua?
Things are very nice here. It's been very hot, but it's a lovely evening. Although we got some flying ants.
I said, do they have sushi in Antigua?
Is
Oh.
it food?
Yeah, they do. There's 2 places that have pretty good sushi.
All right.
Oh, good.
Well, tell
So
us.
everything is not, but I have to say the cooking is pretty limited here.
Yeah. Well, tell Gabrielle and Zoe
Yeah, tell
we said
Gabrielle,
hi.
and the puppies and whatever else, and
Yeah.
have a wonderful weekend, my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, you know something? I should have probably mentioned this, but it slipped my mind. We're moving.
What?
Where to?
Well, it's not the United States.
Not.
If you wanted to move from a tropical island like Antigua to something similar but better, what
Aruba.
might you do?
Aruba.
Maybe.
No. Actually, nicer than that, I think.
What's the
Tahiti.
Madagascar?
Okay, I'll give you a hint. The seat of democracy.
Oh, Jamaica. No, Bahamas. The seat of democracy.
No, the real democracy.
I'm,
Greece.
Greece.
Oh, wow.
What brought
Yep.
this about?
Really?
Oh, it's kind of well, that depends if dinner's ready or not.
Wow. You're gonna have to tell. When is this taking place? Because we're running over, but I want to hear this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of September. End of September.
Do you know people there?
Yeah. Do you know people there?
That's the thing. We have met somebody here on the island who became a really good friend of ours, and because of situations here, it's more expensive here than we expected, and it's getting more expensive.
Yeah.
So this friend of ours said, "Look, come to Greece. My brother is part of a very large company. Everything will be just fine." And I'm like, "Okay, let's go," because we've become very good friends. Me and her have become blood brother and sister. And she goes, "You come to Greece, I'll take care of everything." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go."
That's fantastic.
That's
What have you?
great.
Have you been there before? Because it's freaking magnificent there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't been that before. We've always wanted to go for at least a vacation. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good place to go.
So
Awesome,
you found a
bro.
place to move to?
Yeah. So you got a place. Somebody's setting you up. It's
Yeah.
all-
Yeah. Well, there seems to be the rent is a lot cheaper,
Wow.
and the food is cheaper than that.
And it's pretty damn good too.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good for you,
Yeah,
Lenny.
you guys have been there, right?
No.
No, not no.
One of our friends was Greek.
Yeah, we
Greek.
had somebody.
And he went on his honeymoon there
Yeah.
and sent us pictures.
It's beautiful
and,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well-
like, I'm really looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to things that are a little more civilized than they are here.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right? I mean, there's internet,
Yeah.
so we won't lose you, right?
No. I'll be on the show.
Okay. That's all that matters.
Good
Take
night,
care.
guys.
All right, Lenny.
See you later.
Congratulations. Take
Bye bye,
care.
Lori.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I thought so.
You guys are very
You're right.
brave.
Yeah, you are. Well,
You're a good example.
champions of freedom. God
yeah,
bless
that
them.
is great. Good
Hey.
for them. They're living their life.
How
you know?
about this? Boy,
You only got one. Live it, people.
maybe we should move.
All
Anyway,
right.
what a great show. I hope you'll all keep a good thought for our soldiers, past, present, future. That's what Memorial Day is about. It's about being grateful for the people that give us this freedom
To have a
to
barbecue.
just scream out "fuck you" on an internet broadcast. But or to have friends like you guys or friends like it's an important day, it's an important time, and so we honor those people. And if you watched Franklin,
Steve?
okay. Anyway, if I don't see you in the future, it's because she cut my throat.
That's right. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.
See you in the pasture.
Love
Take
you
care,
guys.
kids. We do love you and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. See ya.